Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have a birthday card to share with you and a bit of a life update maybe. But first of all, I am featuring the Pig Time Fun stamp set from My Favorite Things, which is an adorable, fun stamp set. I just love it. And I'm going to create a clean and simple card. So therefore, I am taking a few stencils to help me along the way to just make sure that I have a focal point on my card base and panel where I can do the scenery of this really simple card. So I have this rectangle Extraordinaire stencil. I will use the Drifts and Hills stencil for My Favorite Things, as well as this amazing stamp set. Now first I am going to play a bit with placement. You can add more if you want to. You can add less images if you want to. Anything is possible here. I just knew that I wanted to use this sentiment, which is really fun. I love it when there is a punny sentiment that is completely correct with the images that you are using. It's like they were made for each other, and that is exactly what they were made for. But first the coloring. So I'm going to do some Copic coloring, really simple. If you're curious later on knowing the combinations that I use, I always list them on my blog post. That's an easy reference, you can always write it down, but I know that I don't show them all at once, so that might be just a bit tricky for some of you. There is always a blog post and I'm always referring to it in the description box here on YouTube. So that's that. And then something that is important to know here maybe is that I'm using Stencil type perfect coloring paper, which is my favorite. It can handle quite a lot of layers. It's really bright, the colors on it, really fun to use. And another thing is that I color from darkest to lightest, which is a way that works with Copics or alcohol markers in general. But if you prefer doing it another way around, another order of your markers, that is perfectly fine. You just do you enjoy the coloring. If you like your end result, that's all that matters, you know. Okay, so while I'm doing that, maybe a little bit of a live update. So today when I'm doing the voiceover, it is Saturday, so you will probably see this video a few days later maybe. I just moved in. Well, actually my first night here was on Friday, and then we started moving everything Saturday, today. So this day was really exhausted. This morning actually I started doing a voiceover and I was hoping to give you the update before the move and then just put it on YouTube today, but that didn't happen because I was doing the voiceover and all of a sudden halfway the video everyone that was going to help me with my moving arrived, and so I couldn't continue the voiceover. So that was a bummer, but at the same time I'm really grateful for everyone that helped me today, because it was exhausting and there's still quite a lot to do. But I again have my stamps here. I haven't unpacked them yet. I know. I haven't unpacked them yet, but I'm really glad to see those boxes again, because I have packed my stamps, well, maybe 3-4 weeks ago, because July was just going to be really busy. And so I had to do that ahead of time, and I had so much to share with you all. I still have, because I thought in my head it looked like a nice kind of planning kind of way, that I was going to prep the house, like doing all of the painting, a bit of tiny jobs here and there that needed to be fixed before moving, because it's easy when there isn't any furniture in the house. So I thought doing that and then stopping with that at around 5 p.m. and then going home, eat, and I mean home, and my parents or parents-in-law, they are really close to the new house. I think it's 17 minutes to both of them, so that's really close. So that was really easy. They were really friendly to feed us every evening. But unfortunately, due to all of the painting and all of those tiny things that you see when you move into a new house. We just returned to the house, and I just had no time at all to do voiceovers. And then there was this one day, actually yesterday, so Friday. I don't know when you will hear this, but then it was Friday, and then I was going to start a little bit later, like not at 7 a.m., but like at 9. And so I could do a voiceover in the morning because I wasn't going to sleep long or anything like that. But then I forgot my laptop in the new house, so I couldn't. So that was my life. So the past week we got the keys 3 days earlier. And normally in my head I was just going to paint, but then the man here, he likes reading and gaming. He has these periods where he games for his well, in his free time, and so he wanted to have a cable on the first floor, so not the ground floor, but the first one. And so, well, that wasn't there. So we started breaking things apart to get that cable there, and it just gave us tons of more work and tons of more stress for me because my planning was really tight, and days of painting, and it was really days. And because of those extra works, we were like painting in 30 degrees, which is not good for the paint and not good for your personal gain, because it was just exhausting. Painting on its own is exhausting. I love doing it because I know that afterwards it will be gorgeous and it will be much more clean, and I like doing that. But I must admit, in this heat, the past week was really a struggle. But I'm glad that it's done, because once all the furniture is in there, it's just so much harder. So we did really well. And then for the rest, so we have a new bed, that one we ordered. The table is coming next week, so need to wait. Unfortunately, the couch will be only there at the end of August. There are really long waiting lists. I ordered the couch in the beginning of April, just to clarify that. But good things coming our way here. A lot of unpacking still to do. So I will be busy still, but I will try to get a few voiceovers still done from all of the cards that I prepped ahead. I think that will be really nice. And then what is left is to get installed. I still have 1 week that I took off of the job to just install everything, and then I need to get back to working. But I hope that everything worked out. Well, that everything will work out in a week, and then I will get some crafty time again. It has been really long. It has been a pain. But I'm really grateful for you all for being here and just sitting around and not going anywhere while I am trying to get everything here in order. I will have a bit of a crafty space here. We have an extra room. We currently do not have kids. I am 25, just to clarify, and I still want to have a few years of experience on the job. Well, that was in my head, and then we will slowly, hopefully, one day maybe start on a family of our own. But for now, we have an extra room, and I will have a corner there. I have claimed a few more cabinets. We have some Kalex cabinets from IKEA that were originally for books, but I just claimed it, so it's for me, it's for my stamps. So I will see how I will get installed everything. It's not a lot, but it will be bigger than what I had, and so I can only be grateful for that. So yeah, I don't know if there is anything else you need to know, want to know. You can always leave it in the comments. I will be as open as possible. But maybe let's get back to the card. So as I said in the beginning, I'm going to create this focal point using some stencils to limit the amount of background, however, and really have that attention drawing background. So I took some blue distress inks, my favorite inks, and I just made sure to have some waves in this rectangle Extraordinaire stencil. Then I was making sure that my scenery would still work, and just with a little bit of blue left and some Tumbled glass, I just created a really soft sky as well. And once I like somehow what I created, really soft ink blending here, I'm going to remove that stencil. We will have our focal scene. I placed that rectangle Extraordinaire a bit higher so that I would have exactly the space that I needed for my sentiment underneath. So that's why it's a bit higher up, but you will see that when the sentiment is in place, that it just really works out. Otherwise, if I wouldn't add my sentiment underneath inside that sort of framed scenery, I would have placed it right in the center of my panel, but since I wanted to have it underneath, this is what works for me. So I'm just making sure that I have a crisp sentiment here by stamping it a few times, and then I will use some thin foam squares to add all of my foam squares on top of my images. So I'm always covering my images as much as possible unless I have not enough of my thin foam squares, but I have a bit of a pile build up. Whenever I am ordering and I don't achieve like the minimum order amount to get free shipping, I just start adding these small amounts of foam squares, for example. Just things to just make sure that I have free shipping, because paying €5 for shipping is the same as paying 2 more packs of this adhesive, sort of, or in a figure of speech. So I prefer doing that, and that's how I pile it up. I don't buy 10 at a time because that would be a lot. And whenever I need a really tiny piece, I just use my scissors and snip these squares into, and then let's add it. Let's add this cute bird. We already discussed it. I love it in this stamp set. I don't love them in reality. These seals just make the most hideous noise, if you ask me. But I love the seals in this stamp set. I also try to position it in sort of a triangular way, which is something that always works. If you don't know where or how to place it, try a triangle, and not a triangle with all of the same well, I don't know how to say it. So you have an irregular triangle. That's what I prefer using. That just works for me. To finish my card, I'm just adding a few tiny iridescent bubbles here and there. These embellishments are really easy to use. They work on almost every card, and even though I don't use them all the time, I really adore them. Something that works for me is the fact that they are iridescent, which means that actually they will work with every color scheme that you have on your card, or if you have multiple colors or multiple color families, they will work with everything. Iridescent is just mind-blowing. And then these bubbles, I love using them whenever I have some sort of a watery kind of scene, and here with the ocean, I think that can really work as well. Another thing that can be done is just not use any embellishments or others. Or if you love a bit of glitter, I think it would be cool to just go over those wavy lines with a bit of stickles or anything like that, to just give it a tiny hint of glitter. But I decided to add these, and this is my card up close. You can also add glossy accents if you want to, and many more items. It's all up to you. I hope that I could inspire you today, that you enjoyed this video and of course the end result. If you have any questions, you can always leave them down in the comments. I will get back to you, I promise. Just give me a bit of time to get everything in order here and to respond to your questions. I want to thank you all, and I wish you all an incredible day, and I'll be back soon. Bye!